Hey, have you noticed that a United States citizen? You notice what that is? Um, used to be the U.S. of A., the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, democracy is not entailed in that anywhere. Uh, the democracy part about it is we vote for who our leaders are. Now, the republic part of that has no democracy, or maybe it's partial democracy. I've heard a lot of different theories on what a republic is, but a republic basically is so. What is a public? A public is a group of people. A republic is not. It's so it's pulled apart. It's not a group of people. A republic. What is that? What does that entail? A republic means that you are not a democracy. You do not have people voting for your rights. Everybody was given their rights from God. In the Bible, Adam and Eve, when God told Adam, this is all yours, all the land you can see is yours. I'm paraphrasing. All these animals are yours. You can name them what you want. He's talking to each individual. I don't want to say person, because that word is it has some attachments to it. I want to say he's talking to all of his people. So when you roam this earth, you're thinking that somebody else made some laws for you. Oh, they voted this law in, and the news or whatever tells you, oh, this is a new law. This is a new law. There's no new laws. God made the law. He gave it to us. Now, you might think that I'm talking off term. Check this out. So, the people who built this country, they were sick of, this tyranny that has to come from having a king. What's a king? A king is somebody who makes the law, tells you what it is. Now, France has a republic, where they don't, or France has a democracy, where their democracy is the totality of their government. We have the right to have a democracy if we want to. We have the right to have a republic if we want to. Go look in the Constitution. I don't even want to say the amendment, but it says that each one of the people has a right to a republican or a republic form of government. Now, if you understand that, that right there will get you out of every most problems that you've even had with police officers or federal agents, your government coming and intervening within your space, your kingdom. We are all sovereign. When I say that, when I was younger, I had a teacher. She was a very good teacher, and she explained these things. Well, she at least explained it, or she explained the government like it was supposed to be read. It says the state is sovereign. Who is the state? I am the state. I live in California. I am the state. Without me, there is no state. Who is the sovereign? It's me. There's no company around here who is sovereign. My government or the fictitious entity who is masquerading as my government. I'm not talking about individual people in the government. I'm not talking about my government is against me. I don't think any of that. There's wording in each sentence that lets me know that I have full power over myself. That makes me sovereign. Now, if you're a citizen, that makes you subservient to whatever you're a citizen of. So if you were a citizen of Guatemala, for instance, that means that Guatemala can tell you what to do. You're a citizen of El Salvador. El Salvador can tell you what to do. If you're a United States citizen, then the United States can tell you what to do. Now, how do you separate yourself from this? Really, it's not fraud. It's not. Well, it is deception. How can you separate yourself from the deception? You start learning about who you are, what really makes you who you are. It's the most empowering thing to know what an American is. Now, if you ever noticed that there are Chinese Americans, there are Japanese Americans, there are African Americans, there are Haitian Americans. That right there is who we are. We're from America. You cannot be from the United States. The United States is it's a corporation. If you look it up, you say, hey, where's the United States located? Ask Google. and it will tell you it's located in Washington, D.C. Now you ask it, hey, where is the state of California located? And it's a building in Washington, D.C. Now, I am not in the state of California. I am not in, say, if I was from the city of Los Angeles, which I'm not, but that is located in that building in Washington, D.C. Look it up. Please do. Tell me if I'm wrong. Now, what state is this? This is how there's, it's, I want to use my wording right, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm on some kind of hate for the government, or I'm on some kind of rant to make upset with the public. No, I never want to do that. I love everybody. Everybody is my people. It makes me very frustrated when I see a lot of people who don't know who they are, and they're really more powerful than they can ever believe. And when we decided to have 3 branches to our government, just say this. Say if you make up a contract to start up a business, you own that business. The people that were made up when you started that business to make it run, you might have your mission statement, you might have, there's a few elements that make a business. Do the people, no matter how much of your business is like 10,000 people, whoever made that business and put it on paper and made it go, they own that business. That's their business. Now, if you look at it like this, the Constitution was made by the people. They made a trust, a business, if you will, to help them with their everyday needs, because they were great like that. They said, hey, look, we need to establish something. And they made a constitution. Now that constitution is an agreement. It's an agreement. You don't have to work for the government. Nobody makes you. You're not a slave to nobody to work for the government, right? You get paid very well, very good. But if you ever had a business and someone tried to overcome your business, what do? You fire them, right? That's what it is. So there's a thing going on to where our business that we all as Americans made is starting to treat us like if we're on our deathbed, or like if we're in a convalescent home, or if we're so old that we have these people taking care of us now. It's part of the ignorance that it's not your fault. It's very hard to find information that I'm telling you right now, but it's not your fault. It's very much you're learning what you've been taught. And you're learning from schools that teach you, and these schools are supposed to be teaching us what we know. But unfortunately, what they're teaching us is things to keep us under their spell. Now, there's a citizen of the United States. Hey, I'm a United States citizen. We have flags. We're very proud. And I'm not knocking anybody if they want to be a United States citizen. But this right here is not the United States. If I live in California, in a city in California, this is not the United States. So when we're signing contracts or we're in a court, they basically presume, unless you tell them who you are, they presume that you're following what they have in order. Now, what they have in order is this. Let me tell you, there's a pecking order. So there's the people at the top of the pecking order. The people made a constitution. They made a contract, or they made a trust. They made a business, and within that business, they delegated the jobs to three parts of the government. There's the legislative part, there's the executive part, the president, he's in the executive. The legislation part, they make laws, right? Then there's the judicial part of the government. They're supposed to interpret the law, but really that's debatable because they're not. In 1803, Marbury versus Madison, they started delegate or interpreting what the law is. But before that, everybody knew what the law was. And you know what the law is? It's whoever makes the contract says. That's the law. And so basically, if one of the people is in court and they say that this is the law and that's how I interpret it, that is the law. And if it's not far-fetched, that is what the law is. You have power like this. We listen to a lot of things and mechanisms that we have. We listen to a lot of these mechanisms that are here to railroad us off of that track. But just, logically, if you created the contract and put yourself as part of the people who made the contract, the people who are the owners of the business, put yourself and never leave that spot. There's only the only way you can break a law is if we are kings, we have our own kingdoms. These are my kingdom is right here. There might be a few feet. Don't step on my kingdom. Don't steal from my kingdom. Don't take from me. Don't extort me. Don't harm me or injure me in any kind of way. I won't do that to you. Now, if you got some people that you hired for your government, and they're walking around and telling you that you've committed a crime, look up what a crime is. What what's involved when there is a crime. It's very powerful for you to do that. If you don't know this is what it is, you need a witness. A police officer cannot be a witness. They cannot give summary judgment to you or to against you, because a police officer's word. They're there to do a job. Who did you injure? It has to be a man or a woman. It can't be you injured a police, unless you just walked up to a police and you did some violence towards them. Then yeah, you injured somebody, but you cannot be in jail, taken to jail, because you have no front license plate and you refuse to give them your information. You refuse to sign a paper. You have rights. You have, your Fourth Amendment, your Fifth Amendment. Seizure. They can't seize. If whenever you get pulled over, a lot of people don't have to worry about this, and this is not for everybody, but right now everybody is going through this. And so more times it might be somebody who looks like me, talks like me, walks like me, or and less times it might be somebody who has lighter complected skin, straight hair, and all that stuff. So I don't want to make it like a race thing, but these are the facts of it. If you get pulled over for not having a front license plate, it's your before that, it's your God-given right to not have to give anybody any kind of information on yourself to incriminate yourself. So, what is a crime? Crime is against the public, a man or a woman. You cannot do a crime against the state. The state is fictitious. Fictitious means basically it's fake. When you hear fictitious, that means it's fake. It's not real. The real cannot attain parity with the tangible. This is a case law. Your government cannot make you produce papers to incriminate yourself. When we go to school, we're taught that, you're going to be a driver one day, or you're a driver when you get in a car. Go look in a court dictionary, Bouvier's dictionary, Black Law's dictionary. Look up what a driver is. Somebody who makes money. The government, we gave them in the document, the Constitution, we gave them authority over commerce to handle our commercial interests. If I have a problem with my brother or my sister, I will say, hey, we need to handle this. We gave them authority to handle that in court. We didn't give them authority to tell us that you need a license to travel from your house to the store. This is facts. I'm not lying to you. I would never lie to you. I'm out here. This is who I am. I don't want to be a liar to anybody. These are things that I know for a fact. You don't need to give someone your driver's license, your proof of insurance and registration so you can incriminate yourself. Period. Don't ever do that. I know that I'm not going to get too deep in other situations, but I know that that's a problem right now. And I know that that is a revenue generator. You're not in a crime. A traffic ticket is not a crime. Not having a front license plate, having no license plate in the back, having altered license plates, having no registration, expired registration, having stolen tags, speeding, running or slowing and running a stop sign, or these are not crimes. You only agree that it's a crime once you give up your paperwork. Now, there's mechanisms put in there to make you think you have to give up your paperwork. But all it is you consenting to give up your paperwork. Do not consent. Hold and stand your ground. You might have to go to jail. I've been to jail. I have some videos where I won the case. People were acting like, hey, why didn't you just... I'm sick of this shit. To be frank, I'm sick of driving down the street while black or, with swag, whatever you want to call it. I'm sick of driving down the street and somebody hating on me and thinking that I have to, I have to be subservient to them and I have to give them respect. I don't respect none of that because I know I'm not committing a crime. A crime is against the public. Who is the public? Public, there's people in the public. Now, if you rob somebody and if you do some violence to people, you deserve whatever you're doing. But if you are just, you about yourself, it doesn't matter what you're about. If you're not hurting anybody, there's no crime. Reasonable articulation, or all of that bullshit. Probable cause. If you have probable cause, then you would be arresting me. Do you understand? If you pulling me over right now and you want me to produce papers for you to write me a ticket, read me my Miranda rights so you can know what I'm talking about. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you do can be used against, anything you do or say, whatever, can be used against you in the court of law. That's all I need to know. So, you want my driver's license and you want my registration and proof of insurance. Will you use those against me in the court of law? Yes. They're going to tell you, oh, yes. Well, then I decline to give that to you. Now, that is not a crime. That's your right. Know your rights. Understand what your rights are. They may turn your right into a crime. It's a bad idea for them. Have your camera on. Make sure they have their camera on. Tell them, hey, man, are you serious? Oh, well, if you don't, I'm going to take you to jail. Did you just hear what I said? I didn't make these rights up. I didn't tell you that I know you have a job to do, but you also took an oath. If you're a police officer, you took an oath. You didn't take an oath for upholding the vehicle code. You took an oath to uphold the Constitution. That's where your power is. Do you see, people? Your power is in the Constitution, because anything that goes against it is null and void and not withstanding in the court of law. So you can say, oh, I left it at home, and not give it to him, but you didn't tell him that, no, you're not giving it to him for whatever your reason is. And it should be, because you have the right not to, and it's your constitutional right not to incriminate yourself. If they have a crime against you, they would be arresting you right then and there when they pulled you over and said, oh, you committed a crime. A crime is an arrestable offense. And it's usually, well, mostly 100%, it has to be something violent, or, you extorted somebody. There has to be a witness. The police can't be a witness. They could witness you in a crime, yeah, but a crime is against a man or a woman. It's not for driving down the street with an infraction on your car. That's not a crime. They will tell you, they will lie to you and say that that's a crime. Oh, the crime of doing this. The courts know what crimes are. The police don't know what crimes are. I think it's by design. I don't think that they're that ignorant by now not to know what a crime is. They want to lie to you. They want to get your information so you can volunteer to go to jail. Now this message is getting kind of long, but I'm telling you, not for my sake, and I'm not telling you this stuff so you can commit crimes. I'm telling you this because I know that most Americans in America are not committing crimes, and they're not crime committing people. We love people around us. We say hi, we smile, we're loving people. I'm saying this for you to understand who you are, to look past all of the media you see that's trying to tell you, oh, there's a new law. Did you know if you get caught in your car just sitting there and your car running, you could get a DUI? I heard that on these are not crimes. Who did you injure? I'm not saying have a DUI. I'm not saying these things. I'm saying that that's how they become intrusive into your life. That's how they intrude in there, and that's how they get you. And then once you start believing one thing, it's a domino effect, and you start believing all of it. It's all because of love, man. I'm not saying this for anybody who wants to be a criminal and wants to hurt people and wants to take from people and wants to, do people wrong. We are the people. Don't ever mess with the people, man. That's how I look at it. I'm saying this to empower the people so we can get back just our dignity. Get back to time that's wasted on the side of the roads, being pulled over and you're just picking up your daughter from school. That's not commercial activity. You don't have to give, you didn't commit no crime. I don't care if, my back light is out. Thank you for letting me know, officer. Well, what is, give me your information. I'm not giving you anything because I did not commit a crime. Well, your back light is out. That's a crime. No, that's a code. You break laws not by breaking codes. You break laws by injuring a man or a woman, period. If you ever heard the term of, we have all these people in prisons and in jail for non-violent crimes, it's because all of those people, that is a term right there used, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people heard of it. It's a term used because those are the people who didn't know their rights. They didn't know that they don't have to be in there because maybe they were smoking crack. Don't smoke crack. I'm not saying to do that, but maybe they were smoking. Maybe they spit on the side of maybe they flipped off a police officer. Maybe they, you know, they were walking down a street where somebody called the cops on them. You know what I'm saying? Just for walking down the street. These are things that if you never yourself injured somebody, you should not have to go through. Non-violent crimes, you should not be in prison. There's a way you can get out. Non-violent crimes, you should not be in jail. If you choose to do a drug and you get caught for that drug, that's your prerogative. Don't be doing drugs in front of people and in the streets with kids. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't. If you have a problem, you know your problem. You shouldn't. You change yourself when yourself is ready to change. These are empowering things for you. This is not to make you think that you're above the law. There's still law. You don't. But your law is stay within your own boundaries. Don't let. I'm going through some things right now where I lost a lot. I don't want to talk about it, but these things I do know, and I'm going through the processes to get them back. And so I have no, no animosity towards the system. There's great people out there, and that's why we have those people out there. But then there's people who listen to the media and think that, oh, I want to become a police officer because then I can just do what I want. But they don't listen to what's in the contract. They don't look at what the contract that they signed an oath for, and that's where the problem lies. It's not about the contract that's the problem. Certain people and actors within the contract that signed up to be that. So this is supposed to empower you to know who you are, and it's hopefully I said something that can help somebody out. One person, two people, it doesn't matter. Like my video, subscribe. Hopefully I start doing more of these videos, and I'm all over the place. These are my first videos. I'm very nervous, so I might have tapped on some things and didn't finish, but I think I got the issue out there, and you guys should understand who you are. You're very powerful. And the police, when you get off work, you're very powerful. You're just like me. The judges, when they get off work, they're just like me. But when they're in that work uniform, they serve you. When they get out of that uniform, hey, they have another police officer there, another judge to serve them. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is not about no hate. This is all about love. I love all of y'all. Now, look at what I'm saying, and do your research. Learn what I'm saying. You have more power than you know. All right.